A couple days ago in Dearborn, there were protesters chanting "Death to America" and "Death to Israel." Does the president condemn that?
Yes.
Is the president at all concerned that Dearborn is facing a risk of becoming a hotbed of any sort of homegrown threats?
I don't have any intelligence to share with you on that. Obviously, that's something that we're always very vigilant about, but don't have any national intelligence to share with you. But obviously, we will condemn any violent rhetoric, which we have been very. I mean, you're hearing from me, right? You're asking me a question, I'm answering it, and we've been very vigilant about, or very consistent about denouncing that type of rhetoric.
Should we see it?
But they haven't been, folks. These are the same people that are part of the same party that when Donald Trump was in office, you had Maxine Waters standing up there and saying, go after Trump supporters in restaurants, on the streets, wherever you see them. So they were targeting people like Sarah Huckabee Sanders when she was White House press secretary. They attacked other major politicians on the conservative side of the aisle when Donald Trump was in office. These are the same people that sat there and told you that it was mostly peaceful protests taking place when buildings were on fire, full cities were up in flames. And these are the same people that are trying to tell you, we've been clear about it. We've been sitting there since day one against violent rhetoric and all those other things. No, you haven't. Not at all. These are the same people that want to sit there and call you a Nazi and punch you in the face in the middle of the street when Donald Trump was in office. These are the same people that were protesting outside a Supreme Court justice's house. Don't give me all this stuff. Folks, Antifa, that masquerades as anti-fascist when in actuality they're fascists, are an outgrowth of the Democrat Party that punches people like Andy Ngo in the back of the head and assaults the guy. So this whole idea that she's going, well, we've been clear on this, is a bunch of hubbub. It's a bunch of foo-foo.
Should we expect a statement from the president on that, though? I mean, it was a pretty significant display.
I mean, you're hearing from me. I think that's important. The other part, too, that I do want to be very clear about, peaceful protest is something that the president has also been very clear that is important to give folks space to peacefully protest. But any type of violent rhetoric, we are going to denounce.
And then on...
Folks, it's crazy. It's crazy. Her word equals the weight of the word of Joe Biden coming out and sitting there and condemning it. I just want to play this, and we'll come back to this, I promise. Folks, for years, and matter of fact, even till today, the left, the Democrat Party as well, will sit there and say Donald Trump never condemned white supremacy. He's done it for years. He was clear as day. So here's the compilation. I just want this here because these progressive left woke libs still can't understand that Donald Trump came out on the podium with his face and his voice condemning white supremacy, where Joe Biden has not stood out there and on his behalf condemned what exactly took place in Dearborn, Michigan. But we're hearing it from Karine Jean-Pierre, and so it's of equal weight, you guys. It's of equal weight. Even though the left demanded that Donald Trump come out and condemn white supremacy, here he is.
Are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups?
Sure. You've got David Duke just joined, a bigot, a racist, a problem.
Would you repudiate David Duke?
Sure.
David Duke and robocalls are out again, the white supremacist movement supporting you. Do you have any words for that?
Well, I disavow.
David Duke endorsed me? Okay. All right. I disavow. Okay?
When we looked at it and looked at the question, I disavowed David Duke. So I've disavowed David Duke all weekend long on Facebook, on Twitter, and obviously it's never enough.
Trump's refusal to condemn, distance himself from white supremacists.
The Anti-Defamation League is already out there asking the president to clarify why he didn't condemn white supremacists.
So are you... Folks, Joe Biden said if you don't vote for him, then you ain't black. Joe Biden told Mitt Romney that he's going to throw you all back in chains. Joe Biden has said so many racist things that's head spinning, and the same people that said, I'm not going to vote for Donald Trump because he's so racist, he's a sexist, bigot, homophobe, all these things are voting for a guy whose vice president called him a racist on the campaign trail, and now she's his vice president. Let that one sink in. The vice president, Kamala Harris, called Joe Biden a racist, and now she's sitting there and his running mate to be vice president during the campaign, all the while you just got done campaigning calling the guy a racist. I know, it's crazy.
Are you prepared right now to make a clear and unequivocal statement renouncing the support of all white supremacists?
Of course I am. Of course I am.
When Chris joined, we had a news conference, and they asked me the exact same question. I said, I disavow. I disavowed then. I disavowed today on ABC with George Stephanopoulos. I disavowed again.
David Duke is a bad person who I disavowed on numerous occasions over the years.
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace.
Then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it. I totally disavow the Ku Klux Klan. I totally disavow David Duke. Ultimately, he got to the Ku Klux Klan, which obviously I'm going to disavow. I reject David Duke, rejected David.
Folks, this goes on for another 3 minutes of nothing but a compilation of him disavowing and condemning the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan, white supremacy, David Duke, whatever you want to call it. But it's good enough. It's good enough that Karine Jean-Pierre here says, we condemn it. Yep, no. But yet, it wasn't good enough for all those compilations of Donald Trump to sit there and condemn what took place in Charlottesville or whatever, but yet we're just supposed to be okay with, no, it's fine. She spoke on the podium, 30-second spiel. Oh, yeah, we condemn it. Like, I'm glad they did. That's the clearest she's probably ever been, but I would like to see the president as well, in the same way that you held Donald Trump to a specific standard. I want to see that same standard being held for Joe Biden, but that's not going to happen, you guys. They're never held to equal standards. Never. It's not even close. Seeing the Biden administration on how the media treats Joe Biden versus how the media treated Donald Trump ain't even close, and it still isn't close.
Some of the comments he made today, did the president mean to essentially accuse Republicans of murder? I mean, the language that he was using to describe opposition to the Affordable Care Act, the quote was, they want to terminate the Affordable Care Act. Terminate, well, guess what? Killing millions of Americans. Does he think that Republicans are trying to kill Americans?
I think you're taking the most extreme definition or extreme evaluation of what the president said. Here's the reality. The Affordable Care Act, which obviously started in the Obama-Biden administration, the president expanded on that, making sure that people have affordable health care. That saves lives. It does. It is important. It is stronger than usual. But you're taking what he said to the most extreme part of your definition or your realization. I know.
Isn't that what the media, the progressive left, Karine Jean-Pierre, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Anthony Blinken, John Kirby, Jen Psaki, anybody in the White House, isn't that what they always do with Donald Trump? When he called MS-13 violent gang members animals, and they go, oh, you're calling all immigrants animals. Oh, how terrible, when he wasn't. Then he was talking about Lincoln Riley. Oh, all of a sudden, when he's referring to her killer as an animal and those that come here illegally and murder people as animals, oh, you're calling all illegal immigrants, Mexicans, Hispanics, all these people, you're calling them all animals, which he wasn't. Isn't that what you guys do, Karine? Isn't it in the same way that you sit there and take things to the extreme on how we're frustrated that people are pouring across this country illegally, taking money from hard-earned taxpayers' pockets and putting it towards somebody else that should have never been here in the first place, when it can go to actual homeless people here, or it can go to our veterans, or it can go to fixing our roads or railways or whatever it is? Like, you take it to the extreme with us by calling us extremists. You call us a threat to democracy. You call us a threat to the republic, all because we want to make this country great and give back to people who are in need of it, meaning other Americans. Once we take care of ourselves first, then we could take care of other people, which is logical. But it's pretty wild here of, again, Jacqui Heinrich playing into the game, which I think she should be, of taking Joe Biden's words to the extreme, which I think she did very loosely. I think he was really clear on what he meant by it, but she's going to sit here and spin it. Not Joe Biden's not going to spin it. She has to spin everything that comes out of that guy's mouth, because the things that come out of his mouth are so insane. Don't worry. She's not far off, though, of her insanity being portrayed each and every week as well.
No, but let's be really clear. Let's be really clear. People having health care is important. It saves lives. It is important to have that. The fact that this president was able to expand that is important, right? We're talking about people who didn't have access to health care that could, whether they're dealing with diabetes or cancer or something that is affecting their everyday life, right? And I think, when you have a party that's trying to get rid of Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and says it bluntly and wants to repeal, they tried to repeal Affordable Health Care or Affordable Care Act, to be more specific, more than 60 times. They literally voted on it when it is saving people's lives. Why? Why do they do that? Why? Do they not want Americans to have health care, affordable health care, to protect themselves, to save their lives? I mean, that's the question to be asked. The president's trying to do the right thing. He's trying to be where majority of Americans are, and protect their health care, protect their Medicare, protect their Medicaid. And you don't see that from the other side. You just don't. He literally had a back and forth with them during the State of the Union about that. So, okay.
I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.